next category is down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Which is the opposite of out.
Yes.
My choice for down the rabbit hole is Lovecraft Country.
Oh, yeah.
Because I fucking love that show. That show had every genre of cinema you can think of.
Yes.
A lot of times in multiple episodes. This show was a love story. It was a comedy. It was horror. It was body horror, which is a term I learned last year.
What is body horror?
Body horror is like Eraserhead, Aliens.
Okay.
Just like Hellraiser, like visually fucked up stuff. It was a comedy at times. It was everything. That show, there wasn't a wasted episode.
No, that is so true.
It was science fiction.
Ugh, it was so good.
If you watch Lovecraft Country and didn't watch a particular episode, you didn't watch Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Because every single episode meant something and was important, even when it seemed like it wasn't. Like the episode where the aunt went into outer space.
Yes.
What does this have to do with anything? Oh, it makes sense later. But
it was so good.
That episode was so fucking cool. That was one of my favorite episode. See, I'm not even going to play that game because I like too many episodes.
There's too many episodes.
Yeah.
I already talked about one.
Yeah.
It's like, there's that one. That one was fantastic. But it was, like you said, it was like a completely different genre from the Indiana Jones type episode. But it all played together to make such a fantastic piece, like one big chunk of awesome.
Yeah, like even the episode where Dee had to deal with those little demon girls.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was spooky as fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that was such a spooky episode. The episode where they go back in time, back to Tulsa, and just watching Michael K. Williams' character struggle watching all over again live.
Yeah.
Like one of those traumatic events of his life. Like, that fucking show almost made me cry.
Yeah.
Like, so many times. And I was just like, no, you don't. You don't cry. I love that show so much. That show yanked me down the rabbit hole. And, like, it wasn't done till the show was done. I cannot recommend that show enough to people. Like, Lovecraft Country, even if you're somebody who says you don't like blank. Like, I don't like horror. I don't like this. Just watch it.
Just watch it.
You'll like it.
Yeah. It doesn't go too deep into blank.
Yeah, it doesn't bathe in.
Yeah.
It doesn't bathe in one genre because it's
over.
so much.
Yeah. It's such a good show.
Yeah. What's your down the rabbit hole?
As I mentioned before, one of the great things that came out of 2020 was me finding so many good things on YouTube. Actually, people putting so many good things on YouTube. So, like Andrew Lloyd Webber started the shows must go on since all the theaters were closing. So he was posting Film Live Theater. Also, the British National Theater was showing different plays that they had recorded over the years.
Yeah.
And so my down the rabbit hole is the National Theater's Frankenstein, which was amazing. It's a little bit of a cheat because it was filmed in 2001, but I watched it in 2020, and I don't know if they've ever aired it before, so it might still count as a 2020.
It's 2020.
It's 2020.
It's our show.
And it's COVID related, so 2020 it is. So National Theater, British people, they did a version of Frankenstein. What was so cool about their version is that it was two versions. So they posted two different versions of Frankenstein. They have two lead characters, Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller. I can't remember what else that guy was in.
Johnny Lee Miller, everyone will know. It was Zero Cool in Hackers. Everyone knows that.
Except me.
Yeah, but anyone who didn't know who he was, as soon as I said that, they are like, oh, that, okay.
And everybody knows Benedict Cumberbatch, so there's that. So the two different versions are them switching roles. So on one version, Benedict Cumberbatch plays Dr. Frankenstein and Johnny Lee Miller plays the monster. In the other version, flip it up. Johnny Lee Miller plays Dr. Frankenstein and Benedict Cumberbatch plays the monster.
Okay.
What is amazing and that really pulled me down the rabbit hole, that they both played it so differently, but they both made it really amazing. You've seen the story of Frankenstein. You know it. Everybody always calls Frankenstein the monster Frankenstein. Like, everybody's always confused by it. It was just so well done. It was really immersive. You really got a sense of the monster, and you got to know him two different ways. So Benedict Cumberbatch plays a more pensive and lovable monster. So he's more vulnerable, and so when he gets rejected, it's so much sadder.
Okay.
For the audience to feel. And it's just like really heartbreaking to watch them. Whereas Johnny Lee Miller's, did I say his name right? Yeah, Johnny Lee Miller's monster was more brutal. Still vulnerable, but definitely more brutal and monster-like. So when it got to the points where he had been rejected, had experienced so much pain for so long, Johnny Lee Miller really pulled that character out. Like, you got to see the other side of the monster, the end of the monster, the other end of the monster after all of that pain he'd gone through. Not to mention that the production, like National Theater, what I learned through the things that they've posted over 2020, they are fucking amazing at stage production. Mm-hmm. That's why especially we were talking about Anastasia and how they're doing that video screen background in production. It's like, you don't need that. You just need really creative stage production, which I've seen done live, and
I've seen it done at Griffith Park. It can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's just another form of stage production, but I'm just so turned off by the video because I love the artistry that goes into it.
That Phantom of the Opera, when we saw that insane ass stage production.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera, Orfeo and Eurydice at the LA Opera. The set for that, oh my gosh. That just blew my mind away. But the Frankenstein, the National Theater's version of Frankenstein, actually almost everything that I watched in National Theater was it the summer? I think it was the spring, summer, that they showed all the productions that I watched. The staging, the production was awesome. For Frankenstein, they have this glowy red thing that when the monster was birthed, basically when he came to be, it was just, you got the sense that this thing was being birthed out. And it was the way they did it, visually, it was really engaging, and it was just hard to tear your eyes away from it. It was all there. And especially watching each of them, Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller interact with the sets. Yeah. Because a lot of it is them being vulnerable and alone. And you have to make a really strong set. They're strong, but they're simple enough to let the actors stand out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I was in it, and I was in it twice, and that's what was so amazing about it, is that both combinations of characters was so engaging and so enthralling, and they used the same set, so there's not too much to change there, but it was different in both cases. But yeah, I was sucked down in it, and I was amazed watching at the end of the second version how I was like, oh my gosh, that was so different, but still really, really, really engaging.
Okay.
Another really good one that they put up was The Deep Blue Sea with Helen McCrory, and she just died.
Was the one I watched with the African barbershop one?
Oh my God.
That was really good.
And so think of that, like how they did the set for that. Like their set production is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a small stage too. Because the audience was sitting right there.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the Barbershop Chronicles. They just, the acting is on point with that particular one. The choreography, how they had to move everything.
It had to be perfect.
Oh my God.
Because it switched from scene to scene just by in between songs.
Yeah.
They play like 20 seconds of a song.
Yeah.
And like in that, they'd have to be in another country, in another barbershop.
That's
with
actually,
different people.
That's actually another good, like I could do a triple feature with that. Sylvie's Love, Small Axe, Lovers Rock, and then Barbershop Chronicles. If National Theater would ever release them again.
Yeah, they're holding tight onto these things.
So yes, that was my pick. Frankenstein, both versions of Frankenstein done by the National Theater are my pick for Down the Rabbit Hole.